Fijian companies are serious about entering the Papua New Guinea market. This was reflected in last month's trade mission from Fiji, the largest convoy ever, comprising of 65 business leaders from 47 companies. In this edition, we hear from the group's CEO of one of Fiji's major corporate players, Fijian Holdings. Being an indigenous commercial arm of the Fijian people, this enterprise has already made its mark in the Pacific. Well, you might be asking what field of expertise the enterprise specializes in and the kind of strategic approach that's got them up the ranks. Find out in this interview with Anya and the company's group CEO, Nozab Farid.
I have with me Mr. Nozab Farid, the Group Chief Executive Officer for Fijian Holdings Limited. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, madam.
Now, you're a major corporate player in Fiji. Please describe some of the key businesses and also the sectors of the economy in which you operate.
We are the largest corporate in Fiji, but basically what we try to do is we try to replicate the economy within the company. So as such, we are into finance, property, insurance, building and construction, services, manufacturing. So you name it, we are in, except for mining, for which we are looking at an opportunity, and commercial agriculture we have not got into. So those are the two sectors, of course, plus energy. So most probably only these are the three sectors we have been looking at for future investments. Other than that, we are fairly reflective of the Fiji's economy within our group.
So quite a diversified portfolio.
Absolutely.
Now, your company's revenue grew by 28% last year. How did you manage that, in fact, in light of the fact that Fiji seems to be under some pressure?
Yes. Like any other group company, any other basically a business, I think Fijian Holdings too is go through ups and downs. But in our case, it's basically we go for investments, and when the time is not right, we go for divestments. As at right now, we have investment in 21 companies, and of which 2 were added last year. And previous year, we did some expansions. And the year before last, that is 2010, we did sort of a consolidation within the group. So the last year's performance is largely because of some of our strategic moves which we did in 2010 and 11. And the growth in the current year will be much better than the previous year, mainly because of we did 2 very large investments during the current financial year. So it's very normal for Fijian Holdings to grow, not in a normal random way, but sometimes is exponentially in certain years. So the last 2 years are such.
And has Fiji's economy had anything to do with that?
Absolutely. Fiji's economy is fairly doing well for the last 2 years, mainly because of the business sentiment. The confidence has grown, and we have been a little bit on a low dismal phase, or I could say rather bearish phase from 2006, 7, 8. Then we saw that we are coming out of the light, and the corporate sector has seen there is light at the end of the tunnel. So as such, most investments started flowing from 2010, 11, 12, and 13 will be a serious year in terms of investment, not only in Fijian Holdings, throughout the economy. Right. So we see a positive growth in the coming year.
Now, manufacturing is one of your most significant part of your operations. Considering that in the Pacific region, PNG and Fiji are facing some difficulties, how have you managed to sustain that growth?
In our case, our success in manufacturing comes from our strategic alliances. We have been extremely successful, mainly because we went with the right people at the right time. For example, cement. In the case of cement, we went with the largest cement company in the world, Holcim, and also with Fletcher's from New Zealand. So it has been successful. With regard to manufacturing of corrugated cartons in Fiji, we went with the only monopoly, the only corrugated manufacturer in Fiji, who has been in the past part of a New Zealand-based carter holder, Harvey. In case of manufacturing with regard to food, we went with Goodman Fielder. So our success in the manufacturing sector comes from our alignment towards experts in the sector. So that has given the best. So our alliance is such, we align with our strategic partner for some time, we learn, and over years slowly we move to our own local management. In the case of cement, it has happened. We have been quoting with the international players, and over the years we have passed on the management to the local guys. So now the both cement company as well as in manufacturing into precast and ready mix aggregates, in that business we manage the whole company. So we have been successful in transferring technology from international players to the local players.
So it's a good strategies that
That's
you've been employing.
that's a success.
Fijian Holdings' interest in Papua New Guinea. Stay tuned, that's next. Fijian Holdings is already established here. In actual fact, it's been around a little over 2 years now. The enterprise's interest in Media New Guinea Limited and 100% shareholding in Pacifica Holdings that's primarily into ready-mix concrete supply in the capital city. Actually, cement manufacturing is one of Fijian Holdings' biggest investments in the Pacific, even holding a monopoly market back in Fiji.
Now, we understand that Fijian Holdings has quite significant investments in cement or cement manufacture. Can you tell us something about that?
Yes, Fijian Holdings is a monopoly in cement in Fiji. We are about to face competition for which we are ready. With that in mind, we came to PNG in 2010. But what initially we did in PNG was that to feel the market, to taste the market, to experience the market, we set up a concrete batch plant, which means we have a setup here to make concrete, and we used to import cement from Fiji to PNG. So we have been in that business for last 2.5 years in PNG. We got a set of equipments, batching and distributing ready-mix concrete. We just acquired a land here, so we are going into the next phase of the same to make concrete blocks and also to make precast concrete, which means any building or a house can be done without the new technology, not blocks but the precast. So our negotiation with the authorities in PNG, which we continued yesterday as well, we are very much seriously interested in to entering into the housing sector here. But our approach will be a different. We are looking at affordable housing, but which also can be done within a short time. Using precast technology, you can make a 3-bedroom complete house within 3 weeks,
Right.
with a cost of below 300,000. What else you need in PNG? So that is what we are looking at. But if you are looking at a cement plant per se, it's a little bit of a difficult question to answer. The reason being, on average a cement plant, you're talking about an investment of 30 to 40 million and is a very capital intensive operation. That too, we are exploring how it's feasible and where it should be located, either here or the lay side or in Port Moresby, and how we should approach that and to how long this growth will continue. So some of the questions need to be answered. But keeping that in our mind, so we want to get into these byproducts of cement like blocks and precast. So we are very much serious, and I am sure that you will see Fijian Holdings very soon in the housing sector in PNG, which is actually a new one for PNG, because PNG is more into do-it-yourself timber-based, wood-based housing. But we are coming with a precast model of housing, which is concrete-based, long durability and affordable. And I'm sure people feel much different living in a concrete house compared to a timber house. So that is one thing we are looking at.
Right. And what is the name of the company that
Right now, we are, the name of the company is Pacifica Holdings Limited, and under that company we have two brands. We sell concrete under Standard Concrete brand, and we sell precast under Hume's brand. Apart from that, of course, we own now Media New Guinea, and we also has got a provisional license to operate a finance company called Pacifica Finance Limited.
Right.
So going forward, whenever the need be, of course we will use our brand names, but of course a PNG based company.
Right.
So we also very seriously taken into account what the minister says. Yes, we want to bring more of manufacturing based industries here. Employment is a question, is a problem here as well as there. So definitely whatever we do here, employment creation should be our obligation as well. So we have kept that in our mind.
Find out about the company's interest in the financial services sector after the break. You're watching Business PNG. Now, in the area of financial services, Fijian Holdings holds the largest licensed credit institution in Fiji. So, just how important is the financial services sector to the enterprise, and what is its impression on competition brought on by PNG institutions entering the Fijian market?
The importance of companies in the financial services sector, how important is that to your group?
Like any other economy, I think if not for manufacturing, it has to be services. When you say services, it has to be financial services. Largely, of course, tourism too is a services. In terms of financial services, again, we have been very successful because we got the largest licensed credit institution or finance company in Fiji. Together with, we also got a stockbroking license. We also have one of the large unit trust with us, a 45 million fund. And overall, the group has fairly aligned toward financial services. Because if you want to promote investment, one important ingredient is financial services.
Yes.
And Fiji too, being a service-oriented economy, financial services has played a major role. And we are extremely happy as that right now, in our total investment portfolio, close to 1/4 is in financial services.
Right.
And we will continue to be with that. And we also have investment in insurance. And we are also looking at going forward to get into testing, standard and testing. So we see a lot of prospects in services sector and including financial services.
So how do you view the competitions from, say, PNG companies such as BSP and Credit Corporation that also operate in Fiji?
I think if you look at competition-wise, competition is always good from a consumer perspective. We always welcome competition. All these years, we have been a cement monopoly in Fiji. But now we are about to get involved. A Chinese company is about to start their operation. We welcome competition. Competition will do two things. One is it has a big benefit to the consumer. Number two, it also will put us in the right path so that we will become competitive, will be productive, will be efficient. So overall, competition is good for a sector, good for a company. So we are positive about it.
Now, how do you regard your investment in Media New Guinea Limited, considering the growth it gave you last year?
We are positive and we are on the right path, and I'm sure that thanks to the staff in PNG, the company has done extremely well. From our point of view, it's an investment. It will be a business as usual. If there is opportunities to grow, definitely we will grow. And we will fully support the management here to take to the next field. And we are very positive about it. And PNG is a growing economy, and we see there is a small slice in that for media to grow, and I think we will go in that path, and I'm sure it will continue to grow. From the outside perspective, it will be business as usual, but definitely inside, if there is room to grow, we will grow. If there is any room to introduce new technology, we will do that, and I'm sure that with PNG's economic growth, the media also will grow. So we are positive about that.
Now, you're a successful operator in the Fiji tourism market as well, we understand. Do you see prospects for bringing those skills into the PNG market?
Definitely, there is plenty of opportunity. That is one sector in PNG we see that we can come in a large scale. But it needs a lot of exploration. Tourism cannot grow in isolation. It's one sector which needs the support of all other sectors. Tourism is not possible if there is no proper infrastructure. Tourism is not possible if there is no accommodation and things like that. And also tourism is not possible if you can't do proper marketing. So we have done that, we have succeeded that. Right now we account for almost 1/3 of tourist arrivals to Fiji. It goes through Fijian Holdings' own South Sea cruises. We are very much into tourism. But to grow a tourism sector within a country where like PNG, I'm sure that we need a lot of more studies. At the same time, we are very confident that that is one area that Fiji and PNG can work together. Definitely we want to bring that expertise to PNG.
What do you think is the potential for growth in tourism, and what do you think the factors are hindering it, in your opinion?
No, I think globally tourism as such has moved from emerged market to emerging markets.
Right.
So Pacific is one area in the global scene, global tourism scenario, is that untapped, untouched. If you look at Fiji, more than 55% come from Australia and New Zealand. So which means there is a lot of people in the rest of the world who has not seen Pacific. There is a lot of potential here. Of course, we need to bring our services, accommodation and infrastructure to a level which can cater to the rest of the world. So I am sure that there is new growth. There is a big in Chinese tourism. There is a big growth in Indian tourism. They look for new destination. I am sure Pacific presents that. Of course, we need to reach the market. There are possibilities where PNG and Fiji collectively present to the world what Pacific can offer. We all got very unique culture, unique product to offer, and I am sure there is plenty of opportunities. We are positive. If we work together, the sky is the limit.
Why do you think Fiji's been a lot more successful with marketing their tourism?
I think it's our services, the way we approach. We call ourselves the friendliest people on earth, and affordability is one, and also accessibility. I'm sure that with the new access to the Chinese market and Indian market, Fiji tourism is to grow, and also rebranding of airlines, as well as the product available. In Fiji tourism, we got product available from backpacker to an extremely high prestigious premium products.
Right.
So we offer a complete range of tourism products, and Fijian Holdings has been successful to creep into this market through cruise industries. We are not into accommodation now. We were in accommodation, but we see more potential in the cruise. That's why we moved into cruise. So I'm sure that same things can be repeated here, replicated here, and that is one of our future plans for PNG as well.
That was going to be my next question. Might Fijian Holdings move into the PNG tourism market?
That is one area that we need to do a little bit more studies. Tourism means, of course, is a expensive business, and it needs a lot of investment. But as I said initially, you can't do tourism in isolation. It needs a collective convergence of all other sectors. It should be a collective work. So in order to do that, we also need to get more exposure to PNG. We have been in PNG for last 2 years, 2.5 years with building and construction sector. We are really looking at housing market. Now we are involved with media. So probably our next segment in PNG will be financial services as well as retail, and tourism too as a big prospects. So probably we are waiting for the right time, and of course need more information. We will be there.
Right.
That rest can be assured.
Stay tuned. Our interview continues when we come back. Business and development ties between PNG and Fiji is currently a major topic in the Pacific. In this segment, we find out the views of Fijian Holdings and its future expansion plans.
Now, what ties would you like to, business and economic ties, would you like to see develop between PNG and Fiji?
Yes, a lot of our questions has been already answered. One of the greatest achievement is the MSG, the failure free trade agreement, which is in place now. And with the Prime Minister's meeting yesterday, and again visa free, is, I think that is what we have been looking for. So it basically takes some of the bottlenecks out. Going forward, I think the only one left is the issue with the work permits. That problem also, if we can sort it out, and I'm sure information will, the information, investment, and the people will flow to PNG. So I think that is, we have removed a lot of the bottlenecks. Investment is highly facilitated between both countries. It's very easy to come and start a company here. So I think we are very optimistic and we are happy about it. And this is the only one which is left over, which is work permits. So which is now a little bit delayed. It on average it takes more than 3 to 6 months to take a work permit. If that problem also can be sorted out, and I'm sure that you can just sit and wait, Fijian companies will start coming to PNG.
So what's your vision for Fijian Holdings, and particularly with a view to moving further than the Pacific region?
Fijian Holdings is a company owned by indigenous Fijian. So as per my shareholders say, so basically the vision of Fijian Holdings to be the most innovative investment company in the Pacific region. That is the written vision. But as a CEO of the company, as my shareholders says, I've converted that into a achievable phase. Basically, we think Fijian Holdings will be the first company in Fijian to reach $1 billion revenue.
Wow.
That is our basic vision, which we are planning to achieve. But in the short run, our mission is such, within the next 5 years, we'll become a company which can achieve 500 million. We are very close to that point. We should be able to do that. Our next financial year, we will see it will be a 500 million asset company, which we are, I think, very close to that mark. But our next milestone is that we should be a 500 million revenue company. So if you look at in terms of all the corporates in Fiji, we are in the top 3, and we are the largest privately owned company.
So lots more growth for your future.
Definitely.
What about your plans for expanding beyond the Pacific?
We are an investment company. We take risk, but we focus on business. Few years ago, that is in early 2000, we made a decision to get out of Fiji, not get out as such, go beyond Fiji. Since then, we started exporting cement to all the countries. Right now, we deal with something like 22 countries in the Pacific. And directly, we have investment in PNG, Solomons, Samoa, and Tonga. But going forward, if the investment opportunity is right, definitely we don't mind going to Australia and New Zealand, as well as else. Few months ago, we visited East Timor. So we are looking at some opportunities there. So being an investment company, what matters to us is more of opportunity and how you can capitalize, how you can explore the opportunities. And that's what matters to us. So the country, yes, we have obligation to reach and deliver within the Pacific, but it doesn't mean that we are only restricted to that area. Wherever there is a good opportunity, I'm sure that if it is possible, Fijian Holdings will get in there.
Thank you for your time today, Mr. Farid.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Nozab Farid, the Chief Executive Officer for the Fijian Holdings Limited.
And that's been our edition of Business PNG. To access our programs online, log on to www.mtv.com.pg and go to our Business PNG page. Comments and suggestions, send them through to the email address now shown on your screen. Also, a reminder that we do have a Facebook page for social interaction. Drop us a line or two. And before we go, join Hena Aria next Tuesday for a special edition on the recent Australia PNG Business Forum. I'm Festus Mike up. Bye for now.